A group of youngsters in Tobago are having the services of former national footballers Angus, a former defender, and utility player Anthony Rougier for close to 2 weeks. They're part of an inaugural development camp put on by the Gentle Giants Foundation. But it's more than just football. The foundation is planning a full slate of events. The president of the Gentle Giants Foundation is Chevah and former national footballer and coach Angus. They're also with us this morning. Hi and good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right. So tell us first of all about this Gentle Giants Development Football Camp. What is it really about?
The Gentle Giants Foundation is a holistic development camp. This is what we're doing right now, a holistic development camp. And we're offering football, we're offering life skills. The children have a bit of devotion every morning with different pastors. They have schoolwork, academics, and they will also be exposed to the steel pan.
How long has it been around?
Well, this is the first year that we are having this camp. But the foundation itself is 1 year old officially. Unofficially, we've been around for about 6 years.
So apart from, before we go into what it hopes to achieve, can you tell me, apart from playing football, what is really geared to do?
Well, this camp, what we want to give them is an advantage. In one setting, we want to develop them, that holistic development. So they're doing football, they're getting that life skills training. We're talking about how social media can affect them if they use it in a negative way. We're talking about abuse, how to know the different the types of abuse, so what is good touch, bad touch. Well, they haven't been exposed to that as yet because yesterday was the first day, you know, but we have 2 weeks, so they will be exposed to the varying things over the period of time.
And let me just chat with the coach a little bit. What has been the response thus far?
Well, it's been very good, actually. You know, we had 20-some kids yesterday, and but a lot of them still had lessons and stuff, so the majority of them would come out today. As you can see on the screen, they're very enthusiastic. There's 3 levels of players that we would have there. One is the total participation for all, which is kids who have never played before we introducing them to the sport. There's the grassroots element, which is the middle area, and then there are some kids there. There's about 3 of them who are actually on the women's national team right now. So, so they have the elite factor there also. So what we try to do is incorporate the sport to get them a cherry to go at, and hopefully they could expand into different things.
Mr. Eve, what led to your involvement in this? Why did you see the need to be part of this or to initiate something like this?
Well, a couple of years now I've been coming to Tobago with Naparima College, and I saw the need for the kids to have exposure to different coaches. They have coaches over here, and the guys are very good. I'm very close with all of the guys, but sometimes you need to hear it from somebody else, somebody who have actually been there and done it. And when I look around, there's no professional team in Tobago, which I think is a travesty. I think there should be a professional team in Tobago, so that you could have the different age groups, because when people think about the pro league in Trinidad, they only think about a senior team, but there's under 11s, under 13s, under 15s, under 17s, and under 19s. So all of these kids who are in Tobago are not getting a level of competitive football all the time. You know, you hear one team in Tobago winning the youth leagues all the time at the women level and at the boys level. So when they come to Trinidad, they'll get different level of participation, and also for them to make national teams, you know, that sort of exposure. So I saw the need for me to come over here and probably do some talent identification also.
Let's talk about talent identification and the skill set that you are currently working with at the moment. When you look at the groups that you have so far, what can you say about the skill set?
they know the game, you know. It's just about exposure. They're very enthusiastic, as I said. They listen to everything that you say. I love to coach kids because they're more attentive than the bigger people, a little bit more easier to work with because they're like sponge. They want to absorb everything. And as I said before, you know, there's 3 different type of groups there. We have a girl. One individual, she's never played the sport before, she's never even kicked a ball before, and yesterday in the session, I mean, you could see she was picking up things as you go along because she have that level of intelligence, and she was picking up the things, and actually she missed a penalty because she got a penalty, and we teach her how to kick the ball. So that was just one day session, and you know, as you see on the screen, very enthusiastic. They're listening to everything and they're trying to take on board what you're trying to impart to them.
So it's not just males, you're dealing with young ladies as well?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It's boys and girls in the camp. You know, holistic development is for everybody. I've never actually coached a women's team, but football is football. So you only go out in the field, you know, you see the American team, all the bigger teams in the world, Germany's and stuff, they play almost just as the men, and so they need to get that exposure and be coached in that way because Tobago traditionally develops a lot of national women players, but they have to come to Trinidad to play with teams. You know, it's high time that we have, you know, a very competitive team that we can put from Tobago into the leagues in Trinidad.
Ms. Alexander, do you see this as an opportunity, not just for the young men, but for the young women to have positive role models and even to be hindered from a life of crime to help them to walk that straight and narrow path?
Yes, indeed. What we're trying to do is to expose them to as much as possible, to give them that edge, because for me personally, what I feel is that Tobago seems to always be lagging behind, and I want them to be on par with Trinidad, on par with the region, and so that when they go out on that international stage, they can stand out. They can stand out in a positive light and not be looked down. So we want to incorporate public speaking because after you play a game, especially if you win, even if you lose, the media comes straight to you. So we want them to not be afraid of cameras, not be afraid to speak, and to, you know, to speak fluently and to be able to just give their best in everything that they do.
I want to talk a little bit about funding. Tell us about the funding for this project.
Well, we didn't receive any funding. We didn't receive any funding directly for this project. What we received, what we asked the Division of Sport for was equipment. So we did receive from them, we got some balls as well as some posts and stuff, and from the Jewels Football Club, which is a club that my daughter is in, we got all the other things in terms of the discs and the cones and stuff, as well as the hurdles. And so in terms of funding, the Gentle Giants Foundation was able to pay for Angus, Eve, Anthony Roger, Brian, James, to come over to Trinidad, to Tobago, sorry. And we also give them board and meals. They have volunteered to do this camp, so we are really, really grateful to Mr. Eve, Mr. James, Mr. Roger for volunteering to do this, because definitely we would not have been able to do it without them at this level. So we really, really appreciate that. But this is our first sporting holistic development camp. So it's inaugural, yes, but we're coming at it again next year. We're coming at it in Trinidad, and we're doing it in Tobago for next year. So we're doing it now. So the powers that be, the sponsors, everybody who thinks that this is worth their while, that this aligns with their company objectives for corporate social responsibility, we will be coming at you. You feel free to reach out to us and provide us with funding so that we can do this bigger and better next year.
Well, it's a pleasure chatting with you, and congratulations on that initiative. And I really hope that the phone calls come in for support, of course. So thank you there, Tobago.
Thank you.